Yo, Smash fans, what's good, what's good? It's the Rapture here. So, earlier this morning I was going through the Japanese Direct. In fact, if you guys want an English recap of the Japanese Direct, you can head over to the Nintendo Enthusiast channel, where I did a little recap video just a couple hours ago. But, today I wanted to talk about another quote-unquote leak that I stumbled across on Reddit yesterday, and it came out in 4chan, I think, about like 2 days ago. And there's really no way to test the validity of the leak because there's no audio or video. According to the leaker, he works at Nintendo of America and doesn't want to risk his job. However, being a huge fan of looking up leaks, no matter how fake or real they seem to be, I decided I'm going to go through this leak and let you guys know what the guy posted and maybe what I think, I don't know. But at the very least, I wanted to go through and tell you guys that there's a leak, and I wanted to go through what the leaker said, and maybe, we can kind of judge how, legit it may be. So his original post in the thread on 4chan, he describes Ridley, Isabelle from Animal Crossing, Dixie Kong, and Mewtwo as the 4 remaining newcomers. Well, he actually doesn't even say or he or she doesn't say the remaining newcomers, just 4 newcomers. And he shows their unlock methods. So apparently, to play as Ridley, you got to play on Classic Mode 10 times on any difficulty with Samus or Zero Suit Samus, or on the Wii U version, you can play on Pyrosphere with Samus or Zero Suit and win the match. To unlock Isabelle, who, as we know already, is an assist trophy, according to the leaker, if you summon her assist trophy while playing as Villager, or you just summon her assist trophy 10 times total, she'll become a playable character. Well, after you beat her in the the fight, of course. Dixie Kong plays 5 team matches with Diddy Kong. To unlock Dixie Kong, you got to play 5 team matches with Diddy Kong as either player, or complete Smash Run as Diddy Kong. And if you guys played Melee, you'll know how to unlock Mewtwo. Well, according to the leaker, it's the exact same way: 20 hours total playtime in Versus Mode, or 500 total Versus Mode matches. Now, some people are like, Isabelle, what? Why would you ruin your post with Isabelle? Well, it seems as though Nintendo, according to the leaker, is going to be marketing Isabelle as the face of Animal Crossing alongside Villager. And we can kind of get a vibe of this because we know that both of these characters are appearing in Mario Kart 8 DLC as playable characters. So I guess that kind of works. But it seems like this leak came out after the Mario Kart DLC news, so maybe they're just kind of, modifying the fake leak with this information, but whatever. So Isabelle is an AT that is also playable, but Ray from Custom Robo, Ray is an AT pretty much exactly the same as in Brawl and not playable. As for other unlocks, so he gave the 5 unlockable methods for the 5 newcomers from the leak from the past week or so. Bowser Jr. you can unlock by achieving a high score of 50,000 or higher points in Target Blast as Bowser, or you can complete Classic Mode on any intensity. Duck Hunt Dog, you get a perfect clear on Target Blast with every character, or play 250 total Verse Mode matches. Dr. Mario, complete Classic Mode or Smash Run with Mario without losing any continues, or play 100 total Versus Mode matches. Dark Pit, lose 10 matches, that's interesting, lose 10 matches on any mode while playing as Pit, or lose the finale of Smash Run while playing as Pit. It's interesting they note the finale of Smash Run. I'm kind of interested in what that means. And then Shulk, this one was interesting. I'm not sure why they would have this, but Shulk completes Smash Run on the highest intensity while playing as Rob, or complete Classic Mode once as each newcomer. Now, what's interesting is that the leaker lists Rosalina, Palutena, Robin, Lucina, Little Mac, Greninja, Villager, and Wii Fit Trainer as the characters. So maybe just those characters, but why would you have to play as Rob and Smash Run against Shulk? I don't know, that seems a little weird to me. A couple other questions. Duck Hunt Dog's moveset. Which Ridley model is used? Samples of his moveset. Is Silex still have a trophy? Will there be DLC characters? Wolf, Ice Climbers, and Lucas gone for good? And is Isaac still an assist? He responds to this with the dog runs on all 4s with 1 duck circling above. They take turns performing moves. The up special for the duck that accompanies the dog starts flapping and leaves the dog behind. He has to jump up and bite onto its feathers to be lifted up. The dog sniffs on the ground and gets an exclamation point mark over its head for the down special, letting it move faster while running toward the nearest opponent at the time. The effect goes away for a few moments, so it's kind of like a speed buffs for his down special. That's interesting. Side special, the dog rears up on his hind legs and motions with its paw, sending a different duck dive bombing forward. But if the duck hits nothing, it sticks up in the ground and you have to go and collect it again. Neutral special, a bush sprouts up on the location. Pressing B again lets you hide in it. While hidden, a cursor appears letting you fire in a certain radius. If the bush is attacked a few times, it disperses and reveals you. You can only have one bush on stage at a time. And its final smash is kind of similar to the neutral special, but has a much larger radius and fireworks effects as it ends. So, looks like Duck Hunt Dog is kind of a pretty tricky character. As for Ridley, it's a new model, mostly based on the Other M design, but smaller and in continuous flight. He looks more like a gargoyle or something flying. Side special is a swoop that passes through opponents and makes him face the opponent the opposite direction as it ends. If you use it again back in that direction without the end... Oh, you can use it again in that direction without ending lag. So it seems like if you use the attack, you can input it again to go back. Down smash, he floats into the air with his tail pointing down, then slams down, implanting anyone hit. His forward aerial is a flip kind of like Charizard's neutral aerial in Brawl. And he says he plays kind of like Wolf, but with, the always airborne mechanic that like Bowser Jr. has. Where, if you looked at the leaked videos, Bowser Jr. kind of floats just barely above the ground. Apparently there aren't any new hunters, trophies of the hunters from Metroid other than Gandrada, Gore, and Rundus, who, if you haven't played Metroid, they're from Prime 3 Corruption on the Wii. He doesn't know of any DLC. Those three characters, Wolf, Ice Climbers, and Lucas, were cut, and Isaac is still an assist trophy the same way he was. Someone asks, there's always an airborne mechanic, doesn't Bowser Jr. fight on the ground or something? And he says, nope, he floats just above the ground. And apparently Mewtwo and Dr. Mario are carbon copies of their Melee selves down to the numbers, which is kind of disappointing considering that Melee Mewtwo is booty. Mach Rider is Mach Rider is a trophy. It doesn't say if he's an assist trophy or not, but a trophy. And Impa isn't in the game at all to his knowledge. What else? Apparently he still doesn't know anything about DLC. He doesn't know anything about Bandana D or Waddle Dee or anything like that, though apparently Bandana D does show up to replace Waddle Dee in Smash Run or something like that. Jigglypuff is relatively the same, though her custom moves give her some fairy-type attacks. Hades is the final boss of Classic Mode on the highest intensity. Dr. Mario's final smash is a slower, thinner copy of Mario's, and Mewtwo's final smash is Mega Mewtwo Y. Dark Pit's moveset seems to be mostly the same as Pit's, as he's a clone. His neutral B uses the Dark Pit staff to fire a single line projectile that can't curve, otherwise he's a clone of Pit's Brawl moveset. And Mewtwo, apparently according to the leaker, seems fine, but he hasn't played any Dr. Mario. Some other final smashes. Dark Pits is like a black hole that sucks the players in and then blasts them out. Shulk's sword extends out 2 or 3 times its size and does a huge overhead slash. Kind of reminds me of Kirby's new final smash. Bowser Jr. calls in the Koopalings to bombard the stage with bomb-bombs. He then flies around the top of the screen, tossing them out. For a few moments, he is immune to damage. And apparently Bowser Jr., according to other leaks, will have ultimates of the other Koopalings, so that leads me to believe that if this final smash is used by a Koopaling ult, that Bowser Jr. will just show up in the final smash. What else? According to the leaker, the roster moves around a lot to accommodate. The new clones sit on the bottom left of the roster, followed by third parties, and Shulk moves up. Sheik is apparently just as good as she was in Melee, or really good. He has no idea if they're going to reveal any of the unlockables. Dixie is pretty much a Diddy clone, but uses her hair for a few moves and a little slower. And essentially he kind of rounds it up with he is not going to waste his job on this. And then it seems that he answered even more questions. Meta Knight doesn't seem to change that much. Ridley, he says he looks great. He's flying mostly upright with his arms and legs in a semi-crouched position. His tail is twitching behind him. He is a stage boss as well. He just enters in a cutscene attacking whichever player is winning the match, and then he stays to fight with one stock. So he seems like he kind of joins the fight as a one-stock CPU during the match. Sakurai is apparently aware that he's highly requested in the West. Really doesn't seem to suck, but he plays like Wolf-like for whatever reason. Is kind of like his other M design. Has his purple color, red, green, brown, orange, and then black with red eyes alts. Falco seems to be the same, few minor differences, but mostly the same. Toon Link has a few different custom moves, like his charging hammer slam for his side special. Ridley is apparently the biggest character, or the tallest, because he's in the air, but if he were standing in that same position, he would be smaller. So he is both playable and a stage boss. And apparently because he acts as a one-stock CPU character, he cannot appear in a 4-player match. So then we see more, as we said earlier, there was some information on Shulk's moveset, but we also know that the 3DS gets Gower Plains and the Wii U gets Mechanus Interior. So if I just quickly kind of check the update here, I'm going to type in some stuff real quick. This guy says that 3DS gets I'm probably pronouncing this terribly. Gower Plains, G-U-A-R, Gower Plains, and then Wii U gets Mechanus Interior. Is this correct? Are we sure? Are we not sure? My only thing here is that on the Wii U, it seems like the Gower Plains stage is on the Wii U, but I really don't know anything about Xenoblade, so this could be off here. This little bit of information could be wrong, because it says that the Gower Plains is for 3DS, where it does seem like it's showing up on the Wii U. So who knows? Ridley's final smash seems like he grabs an opponent, takes him into the air, attacks him with fire, and then slams him down on the ground. Some standard Ridley stuff. And the Ice Climbers apparently have a trophy. Doesn't say what kind, but it does show up in the game somehow, but it isn't playable. So those are all the updates. That's pretty much the entire leak right there. So in terms of validity, everything kind of seems pretty legit. The Shulk moveset looks pretty real to me, considering that that's what it was revealed as today. But that the Xenoblade stages seems to be off, and that's maybe where the leak falters. Other than that, Ridley showing up, obviously hype, and the fact that the remaining newcomers are not what we expected at all, because a lot of the leaks have been saying Ridley, Mewtwo, Chorus Kids Dixie Kong, or there's another one, Ridley, Mewtwo, Impa, Mach Rider, and Dixie Kong. But this one says Ridley, Mewtwo, Dixie Kong, and Isabelle from Animal Crossing, which is a first that I've heard. So definitely interesting. In terms of validity, again, I think that the Xenoblade stage thing may be wrong, and that's where it kind of falters. Isabelle being playable definitely sounds iffy to people, but I think that's definitely a big possibility, especially with Isabelle showing up in Mario Kart 8 as a playable character. And pretty much being like the most important character in Animal Crossing New Leaf, other than you, you yourself, the main character. So I don't know. It's hard to tell without any photo or video or audio evidence. There's really no way to know, but still kind of interesting. So I would say take it with a grain of salt. Definitely an interesting leak. And for more stuff, I guess I'll continue to talk about leaks in the future. Be sure to subscribe, favorite, all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys next time. Good stuff.